We obviously changed our... Stop. We obviously changed our, what's it called? Platform. We changed our platform. There's a lot of changes that are coming that I want to talk about first. First of all, clearly we made the switch from SoundCloud to YouTube. And also, Dennis is no longer with us. We have a new...
He's not dead.
He's not dead, no. Yeah. And him and I are still really close friends. I'm sure he'll be listening to this. But,
Hi, Dennis.
Hi, Dennis. Support us on Patreon. But I'm here with my potential, most likely to be new co-host, Kira. Kira?
Oh, hi.
Hi. Kira was our first guest on our SoundCloud.
That was a wreck.
It really wasn't. It honestly was a really good episode.
It was alright.
Wow.
No,
It was good. It was good. And then also with us, we have Miss Mariah.
Hello.
She's our guest today. We don't really have a lot.
I have a question.
A lot planned. Kira does have a question planned, just because I don't know. We're this is new. I have a new mic, so this is the first episode with our new mic. We're recording on new software. Trying some new things out because we were using Audacity before. Now we're using GarageBand. Kira.
Sorry.
But anyway, hello everyone. Welcome. You got anything to say? Oh wow, that was loud.
Oh god. Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway.
What is today's topic?
I don't really have anything planned.
You said you had some.
No, I have a little bit in my head, but we already kind of talked about it in a pre-recorded episode that is not going to be released. I mean, we can talk a little bit about that, but you told me that you had something planned.
I did have something, but I want you to go first.
You want me to go first? Okay.
Yeah.
So the first thing I want to talk about is we already recorded a short conversation, so I don't want to go on about this because I've already talked about it. It's just you guys haven't heard me talk about it. Relates to racism and Nazism from all three of us here.
Nazism a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
From our hometown, all three of us. We all went to the same high school. That's how we know each other. And recently there was just a kid who, well, I guess I shouldn't say just a kid because this is kind of serious and it's not, I don't know, it's not a good topic. Because I kind of got heated in the last one, but like I'm kind of over it. Well, I'm not over it because like I don't think you can ever get over something like that. But like I can't keep thinking about it and keep talking about it. But he went to a local park and started saying some hateful, negative comments, specifically the N-word. Through a bullhorn in the middle of a park.
Net neutrality.
Oh my god. And he had a Nazi flag wrapped around his back. And so that was, I don't know, I'm kind of like, I'm over it in the sense that like, I just don't want to talk about it anymore. Like, I know that it needs to be talked about and like someone needs to bring it up, but like, going to Noblesville School District for 11 years of my life, I know that school district it was good, and then it kind of, I don't know, like, what moment, like...
It was like, we graduated, and they were like, yeah.
I think they started going downhill, like, years ago, though, for sure.
Yeah.
And I don't know what caused that change.
I feel like Noblesville's always had some secret issues within it, especially within the faculty and the administration.
Right.
There's always been problems with them. But it was one of those things that they were able to keep under wraps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They kept it hidden, and most people just thought Noblesville was, you know, just one of those regular old high schools that you see about in movies, and then you have an incident like this where everyone's like, oh, this will never happen to my school, but it did.
Right. First of all, if you want to look up the video, I'll probably leave a link down in the description of this video for you to go check it out. If I remember, I'll write it down so I remember. But I'll leave a link to the video. It's on multiple news sources, which is kind of crazy. It is the first news story that pops up on Google when you look up Nazi flag. So...
Yay, Noblesville!
We've been on the news before for not like this, but for like
Right, just as serious of things, but in a different way.
scandals.
Right. Noblesville is definitely a scandalous school. And I think it has a lot to do with the administration and the faculty. It's not like they're not doing anything, because I don't want to say they're not doing anything, but they're not doing enough. They're
Can
not.
we get in trouble for saying this?
I don't think so. We don't go there. It's not like we're hating on them very much.
No, yay, no.
I think I have really good memories being at Noblesville.
Oh,
I met all my friends there. I had incredible teachers. And they have a 4-star rating, and that's for how their education works. And so I guess that's what's most important. But I think we also...
It could just be that, like, they're not bad at controlling things. Well, it's just that, like, this doesn't happen often, so they don't really need to know, like, or they don't necessarily, like, know how to handle stuff.
Right, but I feel like it should be... Right, I feel like it should be common sense, though. Like, I mentioned this when I talked about this in the pre-recorded episode. That might be released sometime in the future, but not anytime soon. I think that a majority of that school is either gay, a person of color, or a woman. And I feel like those 3 categories feel threatened almost by someone who identifies with being a Nazi. And
The minority
is
straight white boys.
It really is though. Like when you put together all the minorities, it really is that those are what is considered the majority is the minority. So it's a little backwards, but I feel like putting all 3 of those categories together, it makes up probably a majority of that school, and I think I can say that with confidence. I'm not sure if you guys...
I think it's kind of funny when we think about it like that, because every time I think of Noblesville, I think of like our mascot, which is the Miller Man, which is a white male, and to me, Noblesville is like represented by a white kid,
right?
You know, and it's difficult to think of.
I never thought about that.
Yeah,
of other people going to the school, like, you know, if I was to walk into Noblesville, the first thing I would see is a group full of immature teenage boys trying to make fun of you for really anything, and I think that's kind of messed up.
Right. When I was building off of that was those people, like, I mean, there are a lot of straight white men that go to that school, because I mean that's the reason why those people are considered the majority, is because there's more of them than like one of those minority groups. And if those minority groups are put together and they're the majority, and they don't feel safe being in the same environment as that kid, involved in this controversy, then why should they feel like going to that school, they feel a little bit unsafe around him? I feel like it's not fair to those people, and I feel like they should, as much as I hate to say this because I believe that people have the right to an education, I feel like Noblesville should remove that kid from the school, just for the safety of the other people.
Moving.
Is he really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes, he's moving. Because he was apparently getting bullied. I don't know what's true and what's not true, but what I've heard is that he's been getting bullied, so he's like, my only choice is to leave. So
I can't agree with bullying, but because I personally wouldn't go and start saying hateful things to him, because that just, I want to be the bigger person.
Like, I was told he was getting, like, death threats. Like, whoa.
Right. As much as I hate that, like, I personally wouldn't do that, he did that to himself.
Mm-hmm. He should have expected it.
Right. Right. If he wanted to, because that was a meditated thing. He said it was a dare, but I doubt that.
You can't be dared to do something
Did he
like
just
that.
have that flag in the back of his
Right.
pickup truck right next to his Confederate flag?
If someone doesn't say to you, hey, you should probably act like a racist, and then you, on the spot, just have all of these racist things to say.
Right.
Unless you've been thinking about this a long time.
Right. And someone was talking to me about this before, like, oh, I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get into politics. It really has nothing. It has a little bit to do with politics, but I've talked to many people about this that are Republican, that are Democrats, that don't identify with either of those, and everyone really has the same thing to say about it, and it's that this kid did something wrong.
It's just about bad character.
Right.
I've definitely heard that from people, and then I'm not going to say names, obviously, but I've heard from, right now, 2 people that are on his side, and that are like, let him do whatever he wants. He's not on school grounds. Even if he was, he could do whatever he wanted. And I'm like, that's incorrect.
The whole reason why this should not be allowed is because it spurs hate from other people.
Right.
Look at how many people have gotten angry about this and who have started fights, have gotten in fights with their friends and everyone from Noblesville, because this is creating the idea that we're hateful people, and we're really not.
Right.
Oh, and then it spurs up the idea that, like, people are be like, it's his freedom of speech. Like, that's not what freedom of speech means, sir.
It does somewhat. Let me explain.
Okay.
So everyone has the right to say whatever they want.
Right.
That doesn't mean that there's not consequences to those words.
Yes.
I could say, I mean, I'm gonna say this, like, not seriously. I'm saying it as an example. I could say on Twitter or something that I'm gonna go and kill the president. That doesn't. I'm allowed to say that. That doesn't mean that I'm not gonna have the FBI knocking on my door.
Watch in like 6 years, you're gonna have like that Shane Dawson thing.
Oh my god. They'd like take that out of content. I'm gonna kill the president.
No, it's not.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Stop laughing so loud. Anyway. Yeah.
Now on to more serious things, I have a question.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on from this because I already talked about it a lot. I'm kind of tired of talking about it.
For a couple of days, I've been thinking about this actually.
Okay.
And I actually just wrote it down.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm kind of torn and kind of disappointed, but I'm also. Mariah already knows this.
Okay.
Is Shakira sexist? Oh my god, I love Shakira. Anyone who knows me knows that Shakira is my queen. Oh my god, she's like Beyonce for you.
I love Beyonce, but like I think that Shakira is definitely like in one of my top 3 queens.
Oh my god,
just because I do think that she's an amazing singer and she can really slay.
My list goes Shakira, Beyonce, Carrie Underwood. I don't even like country, but Carrie Underwood.
I think my list goes Beyonce, and then it's like a tie between Shakira and Nicki Minaj, and those are 2 very different people.
Oh, yeah.
but I think like they equally bring me they bring me an equal amount of joy.
Oh, but let me get to why I think that she might potentially be a little bit sexist.
Oh yeah, the main question.
In her song "When a Woman" off of her album El Dorado, I will read you the lyrics.
Okay.
Only a woman knows how a woman is supposed to love a man. Sounds a little to me. Right? Sounds a little bit sexist to me. Like only a woman knows how a woman's supposed to. Okay, now that I say it out loud. All right, y'all can go on. What's your next question?
Do you have anything that you want to talk about?
Oh my god, I'm so relieved that I'm stupid and she's not a second. I love Shakira. Okay.
We didn't really plan this out because one, this is a short episode and we were just kind of trying to figure out how to work like our new tag, how it's going to work, the what is the word?
Shit.
The chemistry between Kira and I on
Oh, there's something here.
on Mike.
There's definitely something here.
Oh,
I
yes.
feel it. You feel it?
I definitely feel it.
Stop clapping.
Anyway, you can see exactly where we're at clapped. Anyway, so we didn't really plan out anything just because we're kind of trying to figure it out. So, I mean, we have Mariah here just because she came along when Kara came up here, so I was like, we're
I
on the podcast.
have a topic that means a lot to me, okay? It's the topic of makeup and how
Alright.
people...
I saw this on your
I
Instagram.
saw this on your Instagram.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so let me pull it up. I have strong feelings about this, so I'm going to give you a little backstory.
We only
while
got
looking
7
this
minutes,
up.
just so you know.
Oh.
We have 7 minutes left of the podcast. I know this is a really short podcast. It's like a little bit less than half an hour, but it's fine. It's fine.
It's fine. So, okay. I just became a hairstylist, for those of you who don't know. I am an actual licensed cosmetologist. It's not just one of those things where, like, I do it for fun. This really is my career, and it means a lot to me.
She studies like cosmetology, like stars.
She's great. She
and
cuts. She's cut and dyed my hair before, and I love it. She's incredible.
So, yeah. I went in for a few interviews, and at one of these particular interviews, I showed up with my version of a face full of makeup, and I thought it looked pretty, you know? I mean, I've always struggled with, like, my image and everything, but when I put on mascara and some eyeshadow and eyeliner, blah, 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 I think I'm...
Yeah, that's like...
I think
That's a full
this-
face to me.
Yeah, it's acceptable. It should be acceptable.
I
But
don't really
anyways,
think, like...
the person interviewing me, one, already had an attitude. Two, she was kind of, like, you know, making fun of me almost. You know? She said... I think you need to be putting on makeup in order to be a part of this job. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, well, you know, customers want a person who looks appealing to them. So I expect you to put on a full face every single day. And I was like, what's your version of a full face? And, like, you gotta have the foundation, the concealer, you know, the dark eyeshadow and everything like that. And one, I can't do that because I have rosacea. So I don't know if you know what that means, but basically...
For those of you who don't know, it means redness of the skin.
I just can't put stuff on my face. It's extremely sensitive, and I'm always breaking out in rashes. And it's not a fun thing. And it's not something I'm trying to deal with every day when it already take an hour to get ready.
Right.
So after she said that, I was really taken back. And I obviously didn't want to work there anymore. She made me feel
Right.
super uncomfortable. Needless to say, I didn't even get the job. So I didn't even need to turn them down, but I was like, is this how every interview is gonna go? So I talked to my bosses at the job I was already working at, and they basically agreed with her. They said, yeah, you need to buckle down and you need to start caring about your appearance.
Just because
And-
you don't wear makeup doesn't mean you don't care about your appearance.
That is.
I mean, in my
And I
case-
was already wearing makeup. Like, I was so upset about that they thought not only was I ugly, but I was ugly with makeup.
that
like nothing can fix that.
that is incredibly offensive.
Right.
As someone who has gotten my hair done by you, you have literally given me the best haircuts I've ever had. And I think everyone who's ever gotten their haircut by you agrees and thinks
Yeah.
the exact same way. And so
Thank you.
that is literally judging a book by its cover. Because they're looking at you and they're like, she doesn't wear a lot of makeup, so she must be bad at cutting hair.
Right.
Which doesn't make any
It
sense.
doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna say something though. I'm not gonna lie, and I see where they're coming from, but no way do I agree with it.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is like, you're basically a beautician too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You see like the connection there. Like,
I do, but it's not like she wasn't wearing any makeup.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not like you're not skilled or trained in applying makeup to somebody's face.
What they should be telling people is that you need to take care of yourself and have good hygiene.
like you don't have a pimple on your face. Well, you got a little one right there.
Okay,
But that's
okay.
like,
But everybody has.
I typically have pretty clear skin because I
Yes.
have a very, very demanding regimen when it comes to my skin. I
Right.
have a million products and I have to take care of it day and night. And I'm just very, very strict about it because I really don't like being judged on how my face looks, especially because I'm always very, very red. And so since I can't control my redness, I'm going to control everything else on my face. So as long as you're put together and your hair is not a frizzy, holy mess, and you don't look like you just rolled out of bed and you were super hungover the night before,
I don't see what's a problem with that.
Yeah.
Every time I've gone, when you still worked at K's, rest in peace. Every time I went into K's, when you were going to get my haircut by you, your appearance to me
was better than everyone.
Right, and it was never off-putting in any way, and I never thought twice about it because I would walk in and be like, oh, she looks good. Because, like, I could tell that you tried to look good for your job because that was your job, was to look good. So people think, oh, this girl looks good, so she's probably going to make me look good.
When I went, like, when I go anywhere, I always people watch. I walk in and I'm always like, I need you. like I hope you're my server and whatever. And, like, when I walked into K's, every time I was always like, yeah, Mariah's, like, the best one here. I'm gonna stick with her for sure.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm saying is, please do not judge my ability to do my job by how I look.
What was this place?
Don't judge a book by its cover.
As much as I would love to call them out, I'm really not allowed to because so I love my industry, but it's kind of like blacklisting yourself if you bad talk a company.
What was it?
What was that? It was not sports clips. In fact, I actually really like sports clips.
It's not great clips.
Oh, goodness.
Oh,
We don't need to get started.
That's another
I don't know.
episode.
I only got 1 minute. We should probably sign up.
Yeah, we should.
That was a good
Okay,
talk.
it was a good talk. So thank you for listening, everyone. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to our new YouTube channel. Go ahead and comment. That's one of the main reasons we switched to this platform, is because it's easier for me to interact with all of you guys and talk to you. Go ahead and follow us on.
Hopefully in the future we will have like video.
Right.
I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah, hopefully we will have video. I'm thinking, because I know that you can do live streams on YouTube. We might do like maybe a live episode, or maybe just like a live stream of something. I don't know, because we have the ability to do that now. And make sure to go follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope at @the_Grasshole.
At Kira
Yes, find Kiera on what's your Instagram?
That's KIERRAHARBER. All just one. Yeah. Follow me.
Follow me.
Follow my Twitter. I am. Oh my gosh.
Follow me on Instagram at Switzerland Plus, and your
Please
Instagram.
don't follow me. I'm really not interesting.
Okay.
Oh God.
But yeah, go ahead and follow us on all those places. And please go support us on Patreon at www.patreon.com/thegrasshole. Thank you guys. See you next time.
Nothing wrong with a little self-promotion.